side. We always take the high road. I worked with the City of Greater Sudbury and the Regional Municipality of Sudbury for almost 34 years. As a frontline professional social worker. I spent most of those years as a 20-year full-time union president. And I will go into further depth with that as the evening moves on. I appreciate your time and thank you.
Thank you. I too would like to thank the GSTA for hosting tonight, as well as everybody else here for coming out. My name is Will Thompson. I'm the fourth generation to be living in Ward 9. I live just north of Coniston here. My kids went to school here in town. My wife and I have 3 children, and we just celebrated 20 years of marriage. My family's been in Sudbury for over 100 years. I went to school here and graduated from Laurentian with a BA and Cambrian College with a mining engineering. I'm currently a mining inspector with the Ministry of Labor. I started in mining over 20 years ago as a shoveler for Falconbridge. I worked my way through production and development roles into supervisory roles, and 4.5 years ago I accepted a position as a mining inspector. I run a small lumber business on Manitoulin Island. I'm also active in the community. I've participated as being a coach and other events with my children. I've also been in the Canadian military with the Reserve Army. Excuse me, a little bit nervous. I've also volunteered with the Red Cross and been a blood donor. This election here, it shouldn't be about who's got the most money. This election should be about ideas. It should be about your ideas. It should be about public engagement and finding out the concerns in the ward. Our ward is a very unique ward. It's very diverse. There's unique challenges and opportunities in all of our communities. We have to decide who's going to get us to the next level, because the last 4 years we haven't had a lot of success with our local government. And tonight I'd like to share some of my ideas with you with respect on how do we get there. Thank you.
Good evening, Coniston and fellow candidates. I really do want to acknowledge the GSTA as well as a member of many advocacy organizations. I know the amount of work that's required when you put on events, especially 12 of them. I'm a lifelong resident of Sudbury and of Ward 9. My husband and I have been married for 45, we celebrated our 45th. I was only 12 when we got married. Really. Our son and his wife are also in Ward 9, and our grandchildren are in Ward 9, of course. And it's a year for the Gibsons in this election because we have our son and daughter-in-law that are also running for trustees. My professional background is 34 years with IBM. I was an operations manager with IBM, one of 4 managers across the country responsible for operations. So I have a lot of experience and background in the business community, both on a national, provincial, and local level for sure. I've also got about 25 years of volunteer experience, and those years started when I was working, right from being a Cub Scout leader to where I am today in the community. Right now, I am into my 3rd term as the chair for the Nickel District Conservation Authority and also the Source Water Protection Authority. Both are mandated by the provincial government. I'm also the vice chair of Conservation Ontario, which is a common voice for all the 36 conservation authorities, so it's really near and dear to my heart. Thank you. It's hard to really tell you all the things about what I'd like to stand for in this election, and you've seen it in the papers, but we'll get an opportunity to hear some of my opinions, and please vote for Lynn Gibson. I'll be your new voice in Ward 9. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Les Lisk, your Ward 9 candidate. I'm a lifelong resident of Ward 9, having been born in Coniston, and can understand both the good things and the problems that we have here. My career years were spent as a math and chemistry educator, where I really enjoyed leading successful programs. Currently I'm involved in developing new technologies with geothermal systems. Over the years, I spent time serving on many national, provincial, and local committees, giving me practical experience required at City Hall. I would like to be your representative at City Hall. I believe that local government is the closest thing connected to our everyday life, everything from our roads to our drinking water. We need strong leadership now more than ever. Strong leadership needs to be based on strong ideas. We need municipal leadership that can compel local business to be part of the solution. There is no reason why Sudbury cannot be among the greatest cities in the country, if we have a vision to build it that way. I can help to make this a workable council with a focus on exploring all methods to control spending, improving community services and facilities with established funding for community centers, protecting green spaces and environment, improving our flooding issues, improve public transportation with busing to all areas, including handicap transit, and attracting businesses that will create local jobs. I promise value for your taxes, open government, affordable housing. Priorities must be determined by local residents. Local boards and committees need to be reinstated. We need a councillor committed to Ward 9, a good organizer, practical, accessible, dependable, energetic, someone who really cares. My commitment to each resident is to a personal guarantee. If you have a problem, I will help you solve it. Make this a workable council. Thank you.
Two comments. The first one is I love Coniston because some great things come out of Coniston. My wife's from Coniston, so. Number two, my other comment is this. I mean, thank you very much for doing exactly what we were hoping you would do, which is tell you about yourselves, because I would say that half of the session we went to, I still don't know anything about the candidates themselves personally. So I know what you do, I know what you stand for. That was great, so thank you very much. I don't know if you appreciate it, but I really appreciate that. Now, the candidates were sent advanced questions, and I've got 5 other questions I'm going to ask, although I need to tell you that I've changed number 5, so number 5 is going to change. However, the way questions are going to be, we're going to start with Mr. Stopsiati. He's going to answer a question, when we'll move all the way down, and then when we start the second question, we'll start with is it Aaron again? Yeah. Aaron, and go do the same thing. So it's not always the same person starting, which is not fair. So trying to make this as fair as possible. So the first question to all the candidates is this, and Paul, you'll be the first to answer this. What would you do to attract business and development to the city of Greater Sudbury? One more time. What would you do to attract business and development to the city of Greater Sudbury? Paul Stopsiati. You have 1 minute.
First of all, we have to open our doors at the city. There are way too many businesses and developers coming into our city, and what we're doing is we're basically sending them to North Bay, Sault Ste. Marie. They are not staying here.
Paul, sorry, you have 2 minutes.
So we have to make sure when business comes into town or a developer comes into town, we should have all staff and your counselor, whether it's engineering, planning, get everybody together, invite that business or developer into the room, and let's help them. We can't offer the sun, the moon, and the sky, but we can work with them. If plan A doesn't work, we go on to plan B. Let's keep them here. Whatever it takes, we need new development and we need business. We have developers coming in here and there's red tape. They walk into City Hall, they ask questions, there's no answers, and sometimes it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and here we have a large building with maybe 190 units being built, and they can't build them because somebody is lagging behind. We definitely have to correct that. Work with them. Let's work and make sure that they are here to stay, and this will increase our tax dollars and definitely employment. You know, like every time we have a building, there's people working, and that's exactly what we need. So we have to be open for business 24 hours a day, basically, and make sure that we have answers in a timely manner. Thank you.
Down to ask the question, just hand a microphone, or would you prefer getting up and speaking? Okay.
All right. As your city councillor, I will lobby businesses from coast to coast to come up and set up a shop in Sudbury. I will use my network of professionals that I have to reach out to those people and businesses. But unfortunately for us, it's going to take more than that. It's going to take more than a phone call to get those businesses to come to Greater Sudbury. So what will I do? I will advocate for the development of a multi-year commercial tax reduction strategy, a reduction in commercial development charges, elimination of industrial development charges, and I will also advocate for the proper sporting infrastructure. I say that because in order for managers and young entrepreneurs to want to locate their families here in Sudbury, they want to ensure that their kids have the same opportunities that the kids down south have. So that means we must work with the private sector to complete the Countryside Sports Complex, including locating a soccer dome there. Thank you.
Mr. Lenny McKinnon.
Thank you. That's a great question, and one that you could take quite a long time to answer if you wanted to put it all together in its proper perspective. But I would suggest that the right way to attract business and development in the city of Greater Sudbury is we've got to create the proper environment. And it has to be an environment of welcomeness and positivity. It has to be an environment that is well organized and well structured to meet those people that are coming here to investigate our city, to see if they want to put a new business here or invest in our community. Now that's called marketing. And we have to learn how to market our city in a proper way. And I don't believe we've been doing that to its fullest extent. I know I go to council meetings a lot, and I go to a lot of other committees continually and religiously, to use that word, but they work hard at it, but they run into some stumbling blocks too as they move through the process. So to get new businesses to come here, new development, we got to create the environment that's going to have them come here. Yes, development fees appears to be a major problem. Well, we can get around that, and we can work with that. But it doesn't mean to say we have to eliminate them overnight, but we can certainly severely reduce them likely, because once they come here and build, the taxes will flow. Trust me, the taxes will flow. Then the new employees will start working for those new businesses, and their taxes will flow, and they'll have purchasing power in our community. And that's what's important, is purchasing power in the community. And it's an all-around community. They don't have to be all clustered in one area. So I urge you to please get behind the city of Greater Sudbury, and let's create that environment of positivity. Thank you.
Will Thompson.
Yeah, private enterprise is the engine that drives our community. Making Sudbury better for business means creating an environment where medium, small, and large businesses can thrive. When we talk about creating an environment, what does that mean? What businesses are looking for is deregulation. They're looking at for cutting the red tape and replacing it with replacing a red carpet, so to speak. Deregulation. So if we have bylaws that are not about health, if they're not about safety, if they're not about quality of life issues, then we need to review those. And if they're not required, we need to remove them from the books. Our business community knows that taxes and excessive fees are hurting growth. Development charges, we should be looking at development charges, maybe eliminating them in industrial parks. These are options that we should be able to consider. We also have to recognize the fact that we are competing with other cities in Ontario. There's North Bay, there's Barrie, there's Toronto, there's Sault Ste. Marie. We are sitting on one of the world's largest resources, mineral resources, and we have a number of mining businesses located in North Bay. North Bay has no mines. Why are they there? Why are they not in Sudbury? You have to ask yourself, are they catering and are they creating that environment for businesses to want to locate there? So we're missing those opportunities, and we should be seeking ways to encourage the businesses to locate here. That'll increase our tax base. It'll reduce the burden that we have on our existing taxpayers. And it will also give us the benefit of jobs for our young people. We want our young people to stay here. There's a number of us here that don't want them going to Southern Ontario and out west. We need to create opportunities for our youth here. It'll benefit all of us. Thank you.
A very good question for sure, and one that's on all of our minds. I've got 4 points written down here, and I know that I'm hoping that I have the time to talk about them, but definitely the elimination of the bureaucracy or the red tape, as we hear that's one of the things that's really necessary. Last night I got a call from a constituent that lives in the Algonquin area, and this individual does his business out of Toronto. He travels every week to Toronto and comes home on the weekends to his family. And his biggest concern, of course, was the fact that his web-based business was being affected. He couldn't do it here in Sudbury because of the red tape. He employs, by the way, 60 people in Toronto, not here. So we need to eliminate that. City needs to also get into the 21st century when it comes to open government or open data. I'm not sure that many people are aware of that particular concept. It's been around for about a year. City's been addressed with the open government concept, which is really the ability to have a one-stop computer-based platform and application available for citizens, but also for businesses, so that you can go on to the open government database and maintain and get the application forms and not wait at the city hall counters for somebody to go down to the archives and get your site plan control agreement. Mining innovation is just amazing. 38% of our workforce in Sudbury are employed by the mining sector. So it's really important that we maintain that. I was at a Chamber of Commerce luncheon yesterday where the VP, Mark Boissonneau, VP of Glencore, actually made the comment and announced that $1.3 billion is going to be invested in our community by Glencore. So we need to help businesses like that with that kind of money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Attracting business and development to the city begins with promoting entrepreneurship to achieve prosperity. Recent findings show that 80% of new jobs come from companies less than 5 years old, and now technology enables little companies to have the capabilities of big companies. I propose an Innovation Sudbury to be formed to operate as a central institution for the support of entrepreneurship, one-stop shopping. We have to eliminate the red tape and have minimum fees associated with development. We need a Sudbury Innovation District with clusters of unique innovations to coordinate research facilities like NORCAD, Laurentian University, Cambridge College, Boreal, and local research companies.